Tesla has announced a hiring spree of Optimus trainers. Come and get your ultimate job for $48 an hour to start. That's a pretty good deal, but when I say ultimate, it may be the last job you ever have. Let's discuss it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Yeah, Randy, I'm going with the literal definition of ultimate.
I see.
It's the final one.
I see.
The very last.
The very last, yeah. The ultimate job.
Yeah. This is, maybe it's their penultimate job. We shall find out. But did you know that Tesla is hiring Optimus robot trainers, $48 an hour for wearing mocap and VR headsets, but you must meet specific height and fitness requirements because they don't want it training on someone who's 7 feet tall when the bot's not going to be 7 feet tall, or 7 feet wide when the bot presumably won't be 7 feet wide. What do you think about this?
Well, when I saw the $48 an hour, compared to what I make on my video channel, I was like thinking maybe I should sign up. Besides, I'm 5'9", 150, and I thought, I could probably lose 20 pounds.
Especially if we chop you off at the shins.
Some of my grandchildren have noticed the belly, down here that, it's always fun to talk about Grandpa's belly. But anyway, then I noticed that there was another little quirk to the article that said $25 to $50 an hour. I'm not going to work for anybody for $25 an hour. So that, except for YouTube, that would be the only company I would work for $25 an hour.
I see. Yes, I'd said 48 to start, and that is the incorrect thing. I love that the position pays between 25 and 48. I assume depending on how much experience you have as a human being, because
once again, they're going to have to pay me like double. Yeah.
Yes. Now, you have looked a little bit in the past at what this could mean for the valuation of a company like Tesla. What did you find?
You mean the Optimus Bot?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that it would be more than 100 times its current valuation. I mean, that would be. I doubt if it'd be more than 100 times. No.
So what would that be? Do the math for me.
2,000. It's 200 now, so it'd be 20,000 a share.
So would that be 20 trillion? What are we talking?
No, because you got to multiply times 3. So that would be 60 trillion.
Oh, so I guess what you're saying is that this valuation from the old Forbes is in line with expectations.
Yes.
25 trillion. Here's what experts think. And I love that Forbes just quotes experts because I don't know, Forbes. You've really been sacrificing your credibility at the altar of clicks. But sometimes they have good stuff. They confirmed Tesla could start selling humanoid Optimus robot by the end of next year and predicted it could drive the car maker to a $25 trillion valuation. Another ambitious claim from the billionaire that experts said might just be within the realm of possibility. And for those who don't know, a trillion is a fairly substantial amount of money.
It's 1,000 billion.
Yeah.
It's a million million.
Yeah. It's not quite a Sagan, which would of course be billions and billions, but it's close. Optimus, which is still being developed, will move into production next year. Randy, we haven't seen much in terms of development. Why is that?
Well, I suppose that there's a real possibility that they got tired of exposing their latest, greatest and having people, completely, second by second, including me and Scott and others, checking it out by every little nook and cranny, seeing what they're doing. The next step to me probably is speeding up to human speed and adding voice. The rest of it, to me, it looks like it's just iteration. And, they're hiring these maybe 40 or 50 people over time, 8 hours a day. to get it to do more things. Use screwdrivers, use hammers, use whatever. I've never had any question that it could do all those things. But the big thing is, I think for the public and everybody to get excited about it, it's going to have to do it at human speed. And I'm not talking about walk. I've owned a factory for 29 years, and I've worked and helped countless other factory owners to improve their factories. And I don't care how fast somebody can walk. It just almost never matters. They don't walk. They stand in a position and they work until they need to change positions. And then if it takes them twice as long to walk to the bathroom, that's not going to hurt. So that's not what I'm concerned about. How fast can they do the job, and can they keep up with the line? Or can they even do better than the existing line and do it faster than the existing line? Those are the things I care about. And I think that really is the next step. And then the other part is the speaking part, being able to have a normal conversation per the movies. We've had the movies for, 30 years now, showing how these bots should talk to you. They should talk to you with snarky responses, and they should tell you when you're wrong. And they should.
Well, in terms of dexterity, you've seen someone quickly operate a screwdriver.
Yes.
And it takes correct strength, it takes correct force, but it takes dexterity as well. And you've also seen people who don't know how to use a screwdriver just strip the head. That's not great. Yeah. If a robot could get to even half the speed, because you don't need to match the burst rate of a human. You need to match the average rate of a human. Right. And it's great that a human could beat it over a 10-minute period, but can it beat it over an 8-hour period? And I don't even care about the 24-hour period, because then we're talking 3 humans. Because I don't think it's reasonable to expect a human to try and outperform a robot at all times of all hours without sleep. One speculation I have seen that I disagree with is that the reason for the delay of additional factories is because they want to design it around the Optimus. Do you think that has merit?
I think that
isn't the Optimus just a humanoid?
Yeah, I was going to say, if they wanted to design around the Optimus, then they could do it. Even if it's going to be slightly different than a human, they could already do that. So they don't,
right. All factories are already designed around the Optimus, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, I don't see that as anything that would slow me down in my design, because I have created a couple of factory floors, and if I was going to switch in Optimus instead, no, I don't think so. No.
Now I know I gave Forbes a hard time here a second ago, but let's jump back over, because I'm sure they've got some good points.
Okay.
Analyst Gordon Johnson. Darn it. Gordon Johnson.
That's hilarious. Brian, this morning on my show, or was it last night? I said, whatever happened to Gordon Johnson? And lo and behold, there he is.
There he is. Optimus is a pipe dream stock pump, said the guy who doesn't understand what words mean. Oh, why would Elon want to pump the stock before his next compensation plan is written? That doesn't make sense, Gojo. And, I've said this before on other channels, but I'll say it again. You can think of an analyst as a mathematician. You can think of an analyst as an economist, but I prefer to think of some analysts as a-holes. So that's a thing that I just said about Gordon Johnson. What are we doing, Randy?
Yeah, I don't know what the story is here, but yeah. So to your point about them going slower, if they maybe can't compete, straight up with the fastest human on Earth on every single task, that wasn't what I was trying to imply earlier. What my implication would be, I think for the public to really get in love with the bots, they don't want them to look like a slow bot. Mm-hmm. It's a perception thing. It's like, no, if it's kind of it's kind of clunky. They want it to go.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree, because these are going to be bought initially primarily by businesses, and they just care about the numbers,
Those
the dollars and cents.
Humans.
Yes,
I
but their
am.
accountants are not. Their accountants are meat machines is what they are. I'm pretty sure I got that right. But you know what? Let's forget Gojo. Let's talk about someone a little more serious. How about Goldman Sachs? They've got an analyst who predicted that the global market for humanoid robots could reach $6 billion in 15 years. Are you joking with me? These guys are who you're taking advice from.
There are 4 billion. I did all the research before I wrote the book, the Elon Musk mission. We did all the research. There are 4 billion workers. Okay. These are, people that have a job. They're out there every day doing the work. The rest are grandmas and grandpas that don't work anymore, little kids that don't work anymore. I mean, don't work yet. But there's 4 billion folks out there that are working. Okay. And if half of those, I don't know, if a quarter of those could be replaced by the bots, you're talking about 1 billion workers that can be replaced. Now, I don't think
each one with a value of $6, according to Goldman Sachs.
Right.
Come on, guys. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where did you come up with this number?
And then
did you misplace a decimal?
And the other side that everybody always forgets to take into consideration in their analysis is it's not even about replacing. Yes, everybody that's talking about it right now, oh, they're going to replace the hard jobs and the dirty jobs. No, they're going to replace any job they can replace. These people are just kidding you. They are really, they're kidding. It's just going to replace any human that it makes sense for them to replace. There's no doubt about that. But that's not the really cool part. The part is that they're going to be able to make things that wouldn't have been made otherwise. Because instead of costing $30 an hour for that human to do it, it's going to cost $5 an hour for the bot to do it. And so therefore you can make a widget that would have been commercially a non-starter that now costs, 10%, 20% of what it would have cost in terms of labor. Now all of a sudden it's commercially viable. That's going to be the big thing. All the things that can come to market that can't come to market now.
You can stay in your home longer as someone who requires some degree of care and attention if you have one of these.
Yes.
My grandmother was able to stay at home longer because we had good family support. Yeah. And we're lucky enough to be able to afford a visiting nurse, I think once a week or twice a week. But if now anyone, regardless of how supportive your family is, regardless of whether you have family, can stay in their homes, that is better for them.
Yes.
You can, yeah.
Besides, that will be a much more interesting conversationalist than your family members.
If you had a team of bots whose job it was to just rove around all day and look for graffiti and immediately paint over it, graffiti would end. Yeah. Because graffiti's only fun if it gets to stay up in if no one ever sees it. If you spray it and 4 hours later it's gone, you better be Banksy because no one's going to remember.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So many opportunities, so little time.
So little time, and we are out of time, Randy. Thank you for coming on. Head over to the Randy Kirk channel, see what he's up to. Probably nothing. I mean, who knows? But everybody else, like, subscribe, do the usual. Hunt me down for sport if you must, because I get out to all kinds of events. And if you feel like supporting me on Patreon or YouTube as a channel member or X as a subscriber, you can. You don't necessarily get much for it, but it keeps me in business.
Oh, yeah.
I am out here busting my butt to try and make it happen. I had one large channel tell me that the reason I wasn't successful is because I don't publish every day. And I was like, I don't? Because I'm pretty sure I do twice. I do like 250 guest appearances a year. That's in addition to my own channel. So can't pretend I'm not putting in the hours and doing the work. I mean, you can pretend, but it makes you look like kind of a jerk. So, but for some people, that's their brand. Hey, what are you going to do? So everybody else, like, subscribe, do the usual. Stay tuned. Stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots. Then next time I convince Randy to maybe join my bowling league. I'm not sure what I'm wearing here.
No, that's not a bowling shirt.